Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo, the Lucky Ferals.
It's about 4:30 p.m. and I'm downstairs right now with Ziggy and little Eva. So I was down here ironing some clothes, and then I realized I don't think there's any cats down here. And then I looked, and little Eva has her favorite chair that she likes to sleep on. She was on her chair, and Ziggy was in one of the cat towers in the back. So then I was like, well, let me shut the door to upstairs and let me see if they will eat some food, because, you know, they're motivated by food. So I took out a little plate and I took out a fancy feast, and I took only like 1/4 of the fancy feast. I put it on the plate and I brought it near little Eva, and she hissed at me and she wasn't happy. And she's not happy right now. She's kind of hiding in the back, which is why I'm just showing you a plate of food. She wasn't happy, so I eventually just put it on the floor, and then she went over and she ate it. But I like had to walk away for her to do that. So then the next thing I know, I'm standing on top of the steps. I'm looking in the kitchen upstairs, and who comes up the stairs toward me but little Eva? And she's like looking at me, and she's rubbing on the wall near me, and she walked right past me. She was kind of like, okay, thank you for the food. Maybe I could have more. So then I came back downstairs, and I put some more food on this plate, and she came back down, and Ziggy was down here, but Ziggy just went back upstairs. So here's the plate of food. And there's little Eva. Look, she's not hiding after all. She's just hanging out here on this track. So she came out of hiding, and she's waiting. She's waiting for me to leave. So if I go back upstairs, she's going to go over and she's going to eat that food. So what I'm realizing is that I need to kind of work this kind of time into my schedule. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take my laptop down here on some days just to spend more time with the shyer cats, and then shut the door upstairs so, you know, the other more social cats are not going to like take over. Maybe I could do something like that. But where it stands today is I have a long list of things I need to get done, and tomorrow I am going to be leaving on an overnight trip. And I'll probably be gone just about a little bit more than 24 hours, maybe 30 hours. I'm hoping it's not going to be too long, but so I have to get all the cats ready. I have time to do that tomorrow. It's not like I have to be out of here early in the morning tomorrow. I could be out of here in the afternoon on my own schedule, so I could have a leisurely day, but I do have a lot of stuff that I need to get done before then. So Eva, we can do this again, okay? We could do this again. It's about 9 p.m. and here's Simba, and I'm trying to get out of the house. I'm going on an overnight trip and attending an event tomorrow, so I think I'm going to be back late tomorrow night, but I might be back the following day, just in case I have enough food in all of the feeders to cover all of the cats. But here's Simba right now. The cats already ate, they had a snack, and now they're relaxing. I sprayed the house with Pet Remedy and Feel Away. And here's Boo. Now Boo does not really like the smell of the Pet Remedy because it reminds him of his trips to the vet. Because when Boo goes to the vet, I put Pet Remedy in the carrier. So when he smells it in the house, sometimes he gets, you know, a little upset about that, but I told him he's not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere, Boo. You're hanging out here. So this is Boo's room. I have it set up with the cameras so I could check in on him, and that's the little sensor bright USB light that I keep on when I'm away. And I don't know if you could see it, but his feeder is on the floor there next to the water. And then these are the other 3 feeders. I should mention that I forgot to freeze their homemade raw food in single portions. I like to freeze enough single portions so that if I go away on an overnight trip, I could just put a single portion in the feeders, and then it will be defrosted by their next meal. So I forgot to do that. So what I did instead was, there's Splash, there's Boo. I froze a bunch of Sheba Perfect portions enough for the cats to get 2 perfect portions each for breakfast. Took them out of the freezer, let them sit at room temperature for a few minutes, and then they easily popped out of their little containers. So there's frozen Shebas in these feeders right now with a little bit of freeze-dried chicken on them and just a few crunchies, and that should be nicely defrosted for breakfast. So that's what they're going to have for their breakfast. And here's Stella. And tomorrow for dinner, they're going to have crunchies, so they're really excited about that. And they get some freeze-dried bites on their crunchies. And then the following day for breakfast, if I'm not back, they're also going to have crunchies. Well, even if I'm back, they're going to have crunchies. That's what's in the feeder with some freeze-dried bites. And Stella is watching lightning bugs. I just saw some lightning bugs outside. I haven't seen lightning bugs in quite a while. So hopefully everyone will be okay and nobody will gorge or vomit. That's what I'm hoping. And hopefully everyone will stay nice and calm. I am a bit concerned about fireworks going off tonight or tomorrow, just because some of the fireworks shows from last weekend got postponed because of rain and thunderstorms. So they might be today or tomorrow. I don't know. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, so this play rug that the cats have, I just bought 2 more of them at the Christmas tree shops today, because I just found out yesterday that the Christmas tree shops are going out of business and they're closing all of their stores. And I was so upset about that. So I immediately ran to the local Christmas tree shop, and they were like wiped out. Like anything good that I normally buy there was already gone. So today I drove about 20 minutes away to the next nearest location, and I was actually able to get 2 of these rugs, and they were $17.99 each. This is a 5x7 area rug, just like a basic, like a Berber carpet, and yeah, $17.99 each. And I thought that was a good deal. So I have backups now. I would like to kind of maybe get rid of this one and put a fresh one down, but this one's not too bad yet. Like, they've had some issues on it, like they vomited on it a few times, but now with that Hoover Spotless that I have, it really helps to clean that kind of mess up. And to be honest, they haven't really had too many really bad issues on it. So I think it could actually last a little bit while longer. I was talking to Grandma Farrell about that, and she's like, oh no, this one's fine. You don't need to swap it out yet. So that's good. And this hallway runner, which is a bit off center right now, also came from the Christmas tree shop. It's really hard to find very long hallway runners without having them custom made or spending a lot of money. So they had them there, I don't know, like a year or so ago. So I bought this one. I also have 1 or 2 backups in my storage room downstairs. So that's taken care of. So that's good. And this rug in Boo's room is the same rug. I get it at the Christmas tree shop. It's a little bit smaller, and unfortunately they did not have any of these left at all. So that was disappointing. So the kittens downstairs are all set up with their automatic feeder, and this went off about an hour or so ago, and it dispensed about a cup of food, and I put some of that back into the feeder. I just dispense it to make sure that it's not jammed up and everything is okay with it. So this will go off again probably in almost an hour, and it'll dispense some more food. As you can see, they ate whatever was on there, but they already had their dinner. They had their full dinner, so this is just gonna be like a little extra snack for them. And then this will dispense breakfast at around 7 a.m. and then a little bit more food around noon, and then if I'm not back by dinner, it'll give them dinner. So this is how they get their crunchies when I'm away. And this little shelf on the left is another item that I got at the Christmas tree shop today, and I got it for $26, so it was definitely on clearance. And I'm not happy with the color of it. First of all, it's not real wood, which I'm fine with. I just wanted something to fit in this little narrow space here between the door to the laundry room on the right and then the door to the bathroom on the left. And I think it fits perfectly. I'm not happy with the color of it, so I'm probably going to paint it eventually, but I'm not in a real rush for it. And I bought this because this is where I used to just stack cases of canned cat food. What I did was I went through the food and I just put a variety on the shelf, so if I'm down here and going to feed the cats, I could just take some food off of this shelf. The rest of it is in a cabinet in my laundry room. And the reason why I wanted a shelf here is because Sammy loves hopping onto the top of the cat food pile and sitting there as I'm making their food. So I figured if I keep the top of this empty, she could jump and sit on the top of that and watch me from there. Any of the cats can jump up there and watch me. So that was another reason why I got it. I think it's much better than just having piles of cases of cat food here. And this other little shelf, I had that in Boo's room. It was actually in Ditto's room when Ditto was in Boo's room. And then when the kittens were in that room, I took it down here just to make more room in that room. And right now I just have some just like random cat food on top, and then the other two are empty. I haven't figured out what I'm going to put in there yet. Nancy, we don't go in the laundry room. Look at Ringo. So I also sprayed the pet remedy down here. I sprayed it in all of their beds. I sprayed it on the floor. I sprayed it on this blanket that Ringo's laying on. I sprayed it pretty much on any piece of cat furniture down here to keep them nice and relaxed. It is 11:17 a.m. 2 days later, and I just got back last night with a bag of fresh dried catnip. So Grandma and Grandpa found a whole bunch of wild catnip growing in their yard. They didn't know what it was, and I was like, it's catnip. I was like, just you know, cut it and then dry it, and then I'll come and get it for the cat. So when I was there yesterday, I took all the leaves off the stems and I put them in this Ziploc bag. It is so easy to, you know, make your own dried catnip. And what happened was I had this in a shopping bag with a few other things that I had brought back with me. And I was doing work on my computer this morning and I kept hearing what sounded like a litter box, like, you know, like when a cat's scratching in a litter box. That's what I thought it was. But then I was like, well, that's really weird because the door to Boo's room was shut. Stella's in there today. I was like, why do I hear that? And then when I finally got up and looked, this is what they had broken into. They had broken into this bag. I don't know if you would see it, but there's teeth marks all over it. So I was like, okay, do you want catnip? So I took out these catnip mats that Sharon made for the kittens, and I actually gave these mats to the kittens the other day, but I didn't film it because it was really late at night and I couldn't find my camera. So I just took the mats out now, and there's already dried catnip inside the mats, but I just sprinkled some of this fresh dried catnip on top of the mats, and you could see how much the cats are enjoying it. So they really like it. I think the only one not down here is Richard. Richard's upstairs. There is Ringo, and there's two more mats right here. So I'm just gonna let them enjoy their day. This is for good behavior while I was away. Look at Goldie. It's 3:30 p.m. and look at Richard. He thinks that Turbo Track is a lounge chair. It's almost 6 p.m. and here's Sammy laying on her favorite kitchen chair. She does this every afternoon. And look at Richard. He turned to the other direction. Like, how is that comfortable? And there's Goldie. She's all stretched out right now. I mean, it's a bit warm. I did not turn on the air conditioning today. It's not like that warm. It's just a nice warm. She looks comfortable. It's 3:10 p.m. and I'm walking around the house to shut the windows because I just put the air on because it's going to be like 95 degrees today, and it's just starting to get a bit warm now, and I just walked past this. I think those are Nancy's legs. I think she's splooting under there. I mean, I really don't know how they even fit under there because it's, you know, it doesn't have a whole lot of height. She knows I'm talking about her. She heard her name. She's a very smart cat. What's she doing, Nancy? It is 7:30 a.m. and it is so dark right now. We have a thunderstorm rolling through. There was just a big crash of thunder and the cats are kind of spooked out. I just made sure all of the windows are shut. They still have all of their Nipsey mats out from last night. They had catnip on them and all their various toys. It's raining right now, but this should pass. And this morning, I heard somebody vomit, but it was a silent vomit. Like, I'm really surprised I even heard it because it was just like one pump and a splat. And I don't know who did it. I want to think Simba did it, but I could be wrong. But I had to search the house for it. I literally had to get a flashlight and search all around the house for it because I knew it wasn't going to be like a really big one or anything. And I finally found it near one of the litter boxes. But it's never a fun way to start the day. It is 9:10 a.m. and it was definitely Simba who vomited because he just vomited again. This time he vomited on this Nipsey mat and it was mostly liquid, so I'm gonna have to throw all these in the laundry. Look how handsome Boot looks today. I'm super zoomed in on him. He's so comfortable on that mat. So because Simba vomited this morning, this is what he's going to get for breakfast. These are the Stewart freeze-dried chicken breast treats. They say dog treats, but they're okay for cats also. So what I do is I take some of them and I rehydrate them in liquid. And this is what I did for Boo the last time he was vomiting, and whenever he ate something, he vomited again. And he was able to hold these down, and then he felt better afterwards. And he also drank up all the broth. So not only does it rehydrate the chicken pieces, it makes it kind of chicken broth also. So just hydrating these now for Simba. He'll eat these when the other cats eat, and hopefully it'll help settle his tummy. It's about a half hour later, and this is what Simba's getting. He's getting a few pieces of the rehydrated chicken with a little bit of the broth, and if he eats this and he does not vomit it back up, then I can give him some more. So I'm going to give this to him. I'm going to wait about 20 minutes, see how he does, and then potentially give him some more. So here's Simba. He's in Boo's room, and I shut the door, and he's thinking about eating. I sprinkled just a little tiny bit of the freeze-dried on it that was not rehydrated, but there's water on that plate, so it should rehydrate those little tiny pieces. He's never had it hydrated before. I gave it to Boo that time, and it worked really well for him. So we'll see how he does, if he eats it or not. He's thinking about it. He's like, I'm thinking about it. He's watching the door, too. Simba, Boo is going to come in here and eat that if you don't eat it, okay? I hope you know that. If I open the door too much, Boo's going to come in and eat it. So you eat it. You want to eat over there? Okay, I give it to him by the window. Maybe he'll eat it up here. Boo likes to eat up here sometimes. It is 10:44 a.m. and all the cats have been fed, and I'm in the process of refilling water bowls. And there's Simba. He just came out from the cubby in the corner. So he's in here, Boo's in here, and Splash is under the day sofa. And Simba did not want to eat any breakfast, so I tried with the rehydrated chicken, didn't want it. And then I tried with a churu, he didn't want it. Then I tried with some of the homemade raw food, he didn't want it. And I even tried with the sardine, and he did not want it. So So maybe he wants to take a break from eating. That means he's under observation, and we'll see what he does. He's behaving normal. Like, he's totally behaving normal today. Other than vomiting. So here's Stella. She's on my bed. She just ate a few crunchies, and Simba just ate 3 crunchies. We'll see what he does with those. Hopefully he won't throw them up. I don't care if he throws up on the floor, but I just don't want him throwing up on the bed because I'm so sick of putting all of this bedding in the laundry. It's 11:45 a.m. and Simba's in my room. He's here with Stella. She just jumped on the bed. Splash is still in Boo's room. And Simba threw up the crunchies that he ate. He threw them up whole. You know, they're not even eaten or digested. And he did that in the other room on the floor. So that was easier to clean up, which is good. And I'm not going to give him any more food. I just want his stomach to rest right now, and we'll see how he does later. Maybe he'll feel better. I don't know if he has a hairball. I mean, the other day, I'm going to say it was Splash because I don't know who it was. But it was like the biggest hairball I've ever seen. So maybe Simba's dealing with a hairball. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't feel well. Or it could be from the beef that the cats have been eating, because, you know, in the past, every time Simba ate beef, he would vomit. But over, I don't know, the last few times that I gave the cats food with beef, he was not vomiting from it. But maybe now it's affecting him again. So I'm going to see if I could order some more probiotics. The cats were on the probiotics for a while, and I think that really helped them. And I'm going to go back to the probiotics that they were on. I was trying something different, like a different brand, but you know, you really have to be careful with probiotics. Some are much more effective than others, so I might go back to the ones that I was using. I have to go out and buy ingredients to make homemade raw food today, so it's on my list. You okay, Simba? It is 7:45 p.m. and here's Stella, and there's Simba, and Boo's here. And guess who else is here? Ziggy. I thought all the cats went downstairs, so I just fed all the kittens downstairs, and it ends up that Ziggy did not go downstairs. She's still up here. So she's hiding behind this chair over here. Stella has hissed at her, and I think she's afraid to kind of move out. But since I have these 3 here, and Splash is in a cat tower in the dining room, I could probably get her into the kitchen and downstairs. So I'm going to try to do that, just because I think it'll be less stressful for these cats, and because Simba was throwing up today. So I ordered more of the Feliway Optimum dispensers. They're supposed to be here tomorrow. So hopefully once I plug those back in, then everyone will be nice and calm again. And I am going to be keeping Simba off the beef again. We'll see how he does. And the probiotics are on order, and those should get here in about 3 days. So not tomorrow, not the next day, but the day after. That's when they get here. And I did go to several local stores to see if they sold something similar, and they don't. So that's unfortunate. So I have to wait for them to arrive. So here's Ziggy. She's just hanging out over here. You want to go downstairs? She's afraid to move, so she's just going to hang here. It is now 7:55, and I was able to get Ziggy downstairs by getting Boo and Stella in Boo's room, shutting the door, putting Simba in my room, shutting the door. The only cat left was Splash, and he was under the dining room table. So then Ziggy came out, she saw Splash, and then she went back into hiding. But then I was able to get her out of hiding, and she went back downstairs. I left the door to downstairs open a few inches, and she ran into the kitchen, and she opened the door, and she went downstairs. So she's happy now. The other cats are happy now. I'm going to give them a little bit of dinner, and I'm going to hope that Simba does not vomit it. I mean, I hope he tries to eat something, and let's hope his stomach is settled. So I put Simba in Boo's room, and I gave him a salmon shiba, and he did not want to eat it. So I gave him a plate with what the other cats are eating, which is some of the Merrick rabbit pate. They haven't had that in a really long time. I found some downstairs. And I also gave them some Fancy Feast turkey and giblets, and that's what he's eating now. So hopefully he's not going to gorge himself, and he'll just eat a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully he'll digest it. It's 12:15 p.m. I just came outside because I need to go buy some cat litter, and there was just a woman, I think it was a woman, chasing a bunch of geese into the woods. I don't know if it was the person that just drove by in that car or what, but I don't know what was going on. Like the geese were hanging out by the woods like they always do, and I didn't see like what had preceded that. I just saw some woman, I think it was a woman, chasing the geese into the woods like she was mad at them or something. So I went inside and I grabbed the camera so I could document this. I don't know if she's still in there or what the situation was, but the car that just drove by was parked in someone's driveway relatively near where I saw her, but it looked like a different person in the car. So there's been some weird stuff going on around here lately, like my neighbor's cat going missing and him telling me that someone was trying to steal his other cat, and then twice me seeing people trying to steal my neighbor's dog. Like, just weird stuff going on. So I don't know. My Feel Away dispensers just arrived today. I've been buying the 6-pack on Amazon, and I think these are around $90 for 6 of these. It's the cheapest that I've found them, and I use 3 at a time, so I'm going to replace the 3 that are up here. I don't have one downstairs anymore. I just have not noticed a difference since I took it down. So I'm just going to replace the 3 here. Here's Nancy. Here's Richard. Hey, Richard. There's Goldie. These are the 3 that I just replaced, and they are completely empty. So I don't know exactly how long they've been empty, but they're definitely empty. So I'm very happy that I ordered more. Here's Simba, and this is one of his new favorite spots in Boo's room. This is one of the cubbyhole beds that I still have in the shelf. So there's one here and one above it, and then all the others have been converted to storage for the automatic feeders and then for other cat supplies. And Simba was in here yesterday, and he's back in this cubbyhole bed today. He wanted to be in this room today, so I was like, okay, you could be in this room. Stella's in here with him. She was underneath the day sofa. And I'm probably gonna have to turn the air conditioning on soon because it's gonna be another very hot and humid. And I want to make homemade raw food for the cats, like a really big batch, like 30 pounds. And it'll be a lot more comfortable to do that if the air conditioning is on. So I wanted to talk about Simba because he did something very unusual for him last night. So I went to bed probably around midnight, and before I could fall asleep, I started hearing this weird noise. And I was like, what is that? Like, I can't even imagine what it is. So I got up to look, and I knew it was either Simba or Splash, and they were both in the dining room. The reason why I knew it was them was because Boo and Stella were in my room, and I knew that they weren't making the noise. So I put the light on in the dining room, and Simba was in a cat tower, and he was just sitting in the cat tower looking at me. Looked a little bit guilty, but he was like just sitting straight up and looking at me, like not laying down, sitting straight up and looking at me. So like, what are you doing, Simba? So I shut the light off, and then I went to my room. Now it was raining at the time, and there were like thunderstorms passing through. So I was like, well, maybe like he's stressed out from the thunder. I don't know. So, you know, I try to go to sleep again, and then I hear the noise again. And it's not like a quiet noise. It's like a loud noise. So I'm like, what the heck is that? So I get up, put the light on, look at Simba. Same thing. He's looking at me from the cat tower, just sitting there. And I was like, all right, I'm going to have to put a security camera on him to see what he's doing. So there was a security camera in the room. I pointed it at him and Splash in the cat towers, went to bed. Then I monitored the security camera from my phone. And what Simba was doing was, he was climbing up the window screen. And as soon as I saw that, I said, there must be a bug. There must be some kind of bug, like on the window, in the window, because the windows were closed and there's space between the window screen and the window. So I got out of bed and I went over to where he was and I got a flashlight and we were looking around, and sure enough, it was a moth. So there was a moth trapped between the screen and the window, and Simba had been repeatedly climbing up the screen. I have no idea how that screen held him, because Simba weighs about 16 pounds. He's not a small cat. He's a large cat. He's like twice the size of Nancy and Sammy. The family of kittens, most of them are small cats. Like Ringo is probably the same size as the other cats. He's the largest of those cats. But Stella, Splash, Boo, and Simba are large cats. So I don't know. I'm still amazed that the screen was able to hold him, because he was really just being held up by his claws. Like he had his claws in the screen and he was climbing the screen with his claws. So he was holding up his entire weight just by his claws. So what I did was I opened the window and I just kept, hitting the screen until the moth eventually flew off. Then I shut the window and then Simba was fine the rest of the night. This morning, Simba ate some breakfast. He did have an appetite. I don't think he ate as much as he normally would eat. I think he ate like half of the food that I gave him, which is fine. He also had some treats this morning. I have not seen or heard any vomiting, so that's good also. So he's relaxing in this room right now. Nancy just discovered Simba in the cat tower. He's really growling.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's 10:45 a.m. and here's Boo. And I did something kind of stupid this morning. I thought it was a good idea at the time, but it was dumb. So I wanted to sleep in a little bit and I just want to have a nice relaxing morning. We had really bad rain and thunderstorms last night. Like I did not sleep good at all. It's supposed to be rainy with thunderstorms all day today, so I want today to be a nice relaxing day. So I figured, let me give the cats a few treats this morning before I do anything. And that way, they'll leave me alone all morning. I could just, get ready for my day at leisure, and then I'll give them their breakfast. Well, I gave them some treats. They had some of the Blue Buffalo Bursts. And I took a shower, I got dressed, and I was just about to put together some juice for myself when I heard that noise, that pumping noise. So I said, uh-oh, who is it? And it was coming from the living room. So I looked in the living room and it was Boo. And he was making that horrible pumping noise, and I knew he was going to be vomiting. So, thankfully, I had a paper platter not too far away, waiting for a situation just like that. So I grabbed it, and I was able to get it under Boo's mouth just in time. And this is what happened. I caught Boo's vomit. And I'm sharing this because I am so happy and proud of the fact that I was able to do that. Here's Stella. So the moral of this story is that for anyone who has multiple cats, it's a good idea to keep paper plates stashed away somewhere in almost every room, so that if a situation arises where you hear a cat who's just about to vomit, you can catch it and save yourself a lot of cleanup. It's 11:45 a.m. and the cats are having their brunch today. They're having homemade raw food. And Simba is completely back to normal. He's trying to eat everyone else's food, so I have to sit here and keep an eye on Boo, because sometimes Boo is the slowest eater. Splash plows through his food. He's the fastest eater, and then Simba's usually number 2. And what usually happens is after Splash eats his food, he then goes over to Stella and eats her food, or whatever is like left of her food, which he did right now. And I was cleaning up the kitchen, so I didn't catch it. So I just came in here, I put a little bit more of the freeze-dried chicken on Boo's food, because that's sometimes what he waits for. And Simba's trying to steal his food, so I have to keep an eye on things over here. But Simba's back to normal. So this morning, Simba jumped on my bed and like gave me crazy headbutts. Like he hit my face so hard with his head a few times. I was like, what are you doing, Simba? So then I had to give him pets on his head. Boo is looking at the other plates to see if they have anything better. Then he's gonna go back to his. So I don't give the cats any dessert after their breakfast, but if they eat their dinner well, then they do get dessert in the form of like half a Shiba each. Or I'll take a Fancy Feast pate, like a low carb one, and I'll split it 4 ways, and that'll be their little dessert. So here's Boo. He's waiting for more chicken on top. So Boo is what's known as a conniver, and he just connived me out of some more chicken on top of his food, and then he'll eat the rest of his food. This is what I have left of the freeze-dried chicken. I have a bunch of large pieces, which I then crush up and put on their food. Now, I did place an order for more. I ordered another bucket for the upstairs cats and another bucket for the downstairs cats. And I think I've been going through about a bucket a month per group of cats because they do get this like as a treat, and they get some on their meals. And they like it as much, if not better, than Crunchies, and it's better for them since it's not full of like carbs and iffy ingredients. So now the kittens are just about to get their breakfast. I came downstairs, I'm like, what is that water noise? Because there's a lot of rain outside, like a lot of rain. But I put a bird bath video on for them. So thankfully it's not a leak. Look what they're doing to the wall here. I don't know why they're scratching this, but this is gonna have to be repaired. I don't know what's going on with that. So the first thing that I do is brush as many cats as I can. Richard gets the most brushing because he needs the most brushing. And Richard is getting so big. I feel like he recently had a growth spurt. And I think little Eva is actually going to be getting big because her paws seem so big for her. I'm sitting on the rebounder right now. Richard's rubbing himself against my feet and my legs. Be nice, Nancy. What are you attacking Richard for? She's probably mad that he was getting all the brushing and she wasn't getting any. Okay, Nancy, you're getting brushed also. You are getting brushed also. Okay. Maybe they're a little bit cranky because their breakfast is a little bit late today. So they've been eating anytime between like 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Right now it's almost noon. But it's a rainy day. And it's the perfect day to just stay home and eat soup and get things done on like a computer or read some books or, you know, just take it easy. Do something that's not like physically strenuous or anything, something more relaxing. It's 12:30 p.m. and Nancy's up here. She wanted to come up, so I let her up. All the other cats are out and about. None of the doors are shut. So Nancy's wandering around. She walked into Boo's room. Boo hissed at her. She's being very cautious, which is fine. I put the toy on for her. She can go in my room if she wants to, and I could shut her in there, and that would be fine. So Splash and Stella are in this room, and Simba is in a cat tower in the dining room. And I do have a spray bottle in my hand. So Nancy, there's Nancy, can you see her? Her tail is really big, and she's waving it back and forth. And Splash is growling at her. And yesterday, I put in all the new felloways, so hopefully that'll keep everyone calmer than normal. I'm looking for my felloway spray right now, so I could use that instead of the spray bottle. But I have to locate it. Nancy's fine up here as long as she behaves. So like last night, Sammy was up here, and Sammy was fine because Sammy behaved. And when Sammy wanted to go back downstairs, she went back downstairs. So if Nancy would just chill out, she would be fine also. And I can't go over to Nancy and then pet her, because when I've done that in the past, she takes that as like permission to attack one of the other cats. I don't know why she does that. Now she's howling a little bit. Splash is growling, but Splash is still here. He didn't run to hide. So that's a really positive sign. You're doing good, Splash. You're doing good. You know, he needs to stand his ground with these cats. And it's just her versus the other 4 right now. So her tail has gotten smaller. Like, her tail was all puffed out before, so it's not as puffy. So she settled down a little bit. If she settles down, she's fine. Like, there's no reason for her to attack the other cats. They're not being mean to her. Like, everyone just wants to go about their day. So Splash just took himself under my bed, which is fine. So I shut the door so he could have safety in there. I don't want her going in there after him. You're okay, Nancy. You're okay. You don't have to wave your tail around like that. So here's Stella, and she's growling at Nancy. Nancy's walking around. It's fine that Stella's growling. Nancy just came in Boo's room, and she's under the day sofa. So if she settles down under there, that's fine. Boo's by the window. Do you see him over there? The thing with Nancy is she could at any moment just jump out from under the day sofa and charge at Boo and try to attack him. Not that he can't hold his own, but if that can be avoided, it would be good to avoid it. Another thing that I wanted to mention was that when I took Boo to the vet to have his teeth checked, and I was talking about how his other tooth was bleeding, then I took him to the animal hospital and they pulled it. The vet told me that if it was bleeding, it means that there was trauma to the tooth, and you know, he could have gotten knocked in the mouth or something, or hit it on something, or have been in a fight or something. So far, he hasn't had any like really bad, you know, knockout fights with them like he did with Hydrox outside. But, you know, there have been instances where either he or one of the kittens have like scared each other, and then he might have like hit himself on like a piece of furniture or something. So I thought that was interesting that she said it was most likely trauma related because of the blood. And then I was like, well, he was grooming himself a lot. You know, he was doing a lot of extra over grooming, and I thought, well, maybe that would cause trauma to the tooth. And you know, she didn't say yes or no with regards to that. She said it was kind of, you know, it might be a possibility. So here's Nancy. She's hanging out under the day sofa. So Stella just went in my room because she wanted to, and I opened the door for her and let her in. Oh, Boo's hissing. I was like, what is that noise? I thought it was behind me. There's Nancy's head. You see her? Nancy, you want to go back downstairs? You want to go in the other room? Come on. There's no cats in the other room. No one's in the living room right now. Come on. So out of all of the cats to be up here with the older cats, Nancy's the one that really needs the most socializing with them, because she is the biggest wild card. So as I mentioned, Stella and Splash are in my room, and Simba's in the cat tower in the dining room, which is fine. And maybe she wants to play with that toy. I don't know. If she settles down in one of the cat towers, that would be good. She loves to lay underneath this coffee table, so if she goes and lays underneath that, that would be good also. I want her to spend time with the other cats, but it needs to be a gradual process. And I think today went well because Splash did not immediately run and hide. Neither did Simba. Simba's still in the cat tower watching Nancy. And Boo and Stella have been growling and hissing, but that's fine. They're just like letting her know. Nancy has fallen in love with the spray bottle. She's been rolling around here on the rug like this. I don't know why. Oh, maybe she still smells some catnip from the other day, even though I vacuumed it up. Nancy just discovered Simba in the cat tower. He's really growling. I have the spray bottle ready. Nancy just took herself underneath the coffee table and Simba's underneath the kitchen table. And like an idiot, I didn't check the spray bottle and it was set on mist instead of spray. I was so stupid. Always check the spray bottle before using it. Here's Simba. He's under the table. He's okay. So I'm going to hang out here with Simba because I'd like to have some breakfast, and I'm just going to work on some stuff here in the kitchen. And Nancy's underneath the coffee table. Now I could shut the door to Boo's room, or I could leave it open. You did good, Simba. You did really good. So Nancy just took herself downstairs. She had to walk past Simba, and Simba's been growling really loud. But Nancy walked in slow motion, and she took herself downstairs. So that's fine. I just gave Simba a few treats so he knows he did good. Good job, Simba. You did really good, Simba. It is 1 p.m. and the cats put themselves in my bedroom, so Stella, Splash, and Simba are in this room, Boo's in his room. I shut the doors, and now I'm going to let all the kittens up. Nancy's talking to Ziggy. There's Ziggy. There's Nancy. Boo's in the room. He's on the shelf by the window. He's just watching them. I don't know why Nancy wants to be in this room. There's Goldie. She was just walking by. If Nancy behaves, then everything is fine. There's Ziggy. There's Nancy. Nancy was crying at the door. That's why I opened the door. I was like, you want to go in? And she wanted to go under the day sofa. And then Ziggy was meowing at her. The Goldie girls like sticking together during the day, like they're all hanging out together. And that is Goldie, Ziggy, Nancy, and Sammy. Usually the four of them. Little Eva likes to spend a lot of time downstairs. Oh, there goes Nancy. It's okay if she just looks at Boo. He's growling. As long as she behaves, everything is fine. So now Ziggy and Goldie are under the day sofa, and they should be fine with Boo. I've never seen Ziggy and Goldie try to attack any of the cats. The only ones that I've seen try to attack are Nancy, Richard, and Ringo. Those three. That's Goldie. Look at Nancy's tail. Goldie doesn't want any trouble. Ziggy doesn't want any trouble. It's just Nancy that wants trouble. Nancy is at the point where if she sees a spray bottle, she does kind of behave a little bit better. And I'm holding a spray bottle right now. Here it is. And I've made sure that it's on spray and not mist. Someone's purring. I think Goldie's purring. You're okay, Boo. You're okay. So this morning, Simba and Splash got into a little argument, and Boo went to break it up, and there's a groundhog eating my tomatoes outside. Get out of there! So this year I have some patio tomatoes that are doing so good. Like, I've never had patio tomatoes do this good. And they're right outside of the greenhouse. They're on the far side of the greenhouse. And this groundhog wants to eat them. I don't want the groundhog eating my tomatoes. So they all left the room, but they're watching from the hall. They'd like to come in this room and hang out, but they're not going to right now. They have the back door to look out of. They don't have to be by the windows in Boo's room, so they could easily look out of this back door. It was incredible. It was the first time she ever did that. Right now, she's like around that way, so you can't see her. So here's Goldie.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's 10:50 a.m. Look at Nancy. She's laying in one toy while playing with the other. Right now she's scratching the chair, but she was playing with the toy that's going around. That TurboTrack gets more use as a cat bed than as a toy. There's Richard. He's hanging out on top of the cat condo. I think he's gonna go play with Nancy. And there's Ringo. He's in the cat tower. Sammy just arrived. And here comes Goldie. So I gave the cats a box today. I got a shipment from Chewy yesterday. I got some more of the freeze-dried chicken breasts that the cats like so much. There's Goldie. So I gave them a box today. Look at Nancy. Sammy has discovered the box. It's 11:50 a.m. and the cats are hunting a fly. I don't know where it came from, but I was sitting here enjoying a freezer pop, and all of a sudden a fly started flying around, and Ringo saw it and he started hunting it, and then Ziggy, Sammy, and Goldie joined him. When I got the camera, they got a little bit scared, but Ziggy and Sammy are still hunting it. It's by the window. Sammy was trying to eat it. There goes Ringo. Ziggy's a very good hunter. I don't know if there's a dead fly on the windowsill or what the situation is. It's 12:30 p.m. and I just put all of the gates in the door to Boo's room because for some reason Nancy and Richard really want to go in there today. But Splash is under the day sofa and Boo's by the window and they're happy. So I figured let me put the gates in. They could get some breeze, some cross ventilation from the open windows, and they could see what's going on in there, and if they want, they could even climb the gates. Look at this. There's Ringo. 5 of them. Sammy's in the kitchen, and I think little Eva's downstairs. So this is what they want to do. They just want to hang out by the gates. Look at Nancy. She's sticking her arm way in there. There's nothing that you need to go into that room for, Nancy. Boo's watching them. Boo loves his open window. Like, he loves that window. Here's Boo by this window, and lately he's been spending so much time by this open window. This is his favorite place right now. Like, this is Boo's happy place. He loves being near that window, and I don't want to jinx anything, but he's been behaving so well, not trying to claw at the screen or do anything. He's just really happy to have his view and to have, like, the fresh air coming in from outside, even though it's not that fresh this year with all the air quality problems. But he's just really happy here. He loves He loves being there, and he's there like all night and a good portion of the day. He just really, really loves that spot. And I even tell him, I'm like, Boo, you could take time off, because, you know, Boo's job is to keep an eye on the yard. And I'm like, Boo, you could take time off. You don't have to work tonight. And he's like, nope, I'm going to work, because I really like working. Look at this. They're just like camped out here. That's fine. I don't mind them hanging out here in the hall by the door. I don't mind it at all. And I don't even mind them climbing the gates, but if they're going to just be banging on the gates, then it gets annoying. I don't know what Nancy's trying to do. There's nothing in there that she could be clawing at. She has her arm all the way in that gate. Goldie and Ziggy are very well behaved. They're very much like Sammy. Richard is very much like Nancy. Nancy and Richard are the jumpers and the attackers. And there's Ringo. And Ringo has attacked Splash once, when Splash was using the litter box in my room. Well, I'm glad that this gate is at least providing them some entertainment. They do have the back door to look outside, but maybe they want to smell the air coming from the backyard. I mean, I can't imagine the air from the backyard smells all that much different from the air from the front yard, but maybe to a cat it does. And I am feeling a little bit of a breeze now that the gates are in the door, so this is probably a good idea. I'm actually kind of wondering if I should invest in 3 more gates, so I could also put gates in, like, the door to my room. I can't put a screen door in because it would just be too permanent. So there's 4 here, right? And there's 2 more over there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The only one we're missing is little Eva. She's probably downstairs. It is 10:40 p.m. and there's little Eva, there's Ziggy, there's Goldie, there's Nancy, and Sammy's here also. And there's a spoon here because what I just did was, instead of just putting like a can of Fancy Feast on these plates, you know, like a small 3-ounce can, I would normally split it up between the plates. What I did was, I just started feeding the cats the Fancy Feast on the spoon. And all the girls gathered around me, even little Eva. And I'm filming this right now because she ate off of the spoon out of my hand for the first time ever. First, she smelled it, which is huge for her because usually if I give her anything to smell, she backs away immediately. So I was like, wow, she actually smelled it because she loves canned food. A lot of times, like, she'll wait for canned food after the cats eat their regular meal. So I took it as a good sign that she was actually smelling the spoon. And then I just, you know, I kept giving her the opportunity to eat off of the spoon. And eventually she took the opportunity, not just once, but multiple times. Multiple times when I held the spoon of food out to her, she ate the food off of the spoon. It was incredible. It was the first time she ever did that. Right now, she's like around that way, so you can't see her. So here's Goldie. Now, Goldie is so funny because she does this thing where she takes like a bite of the food and then she runs to eat it somewhere else. And that's what she'll do a lot of times if I give them like treats or snacks. She'll grab it and then she'll run with it and then she'll like enjoy it, you know, away from everyone else. And that's what she does. Even with the food on the spoon, she just tries to take a big bite of it and then she runs away with it. And Nancy enjoyed some of the food also. The reason why I decided to open a can of food is because Nancy was just crying by the door. It's like, are you still hungry? So this was a big success tonight, and I'm probably going to have to repeat this, you know, on other nights also. maybe try to make it a nightly thing. So, yeah, I just wanted to document the fact that this was the first time little Eva actually ate out of my hand. Like, not out of my hand, but like, you know, I was holding a spoon and she ate out of the spoon that I was holding. She smelled it, which is, you know, major progress for her, and she actually ate out of the spoon, not once, but multiple times. And I should also mention that I got to pet her a few times because she was like headbutting Sammy, and then I was petting her on the head because I guess she thought that Sammy was petting her, but it was me. So I got to pet her on the head, and then I got to pet her on her back, and I never realized like how thick her fur is, but she has very thick fur also. So far, out of all the cats down here that I've gotten to pet, I really think little Eva has some of the thickest fur. I mean, Nancy is very fine fur. So does Richard. They have like, you know, very short and fine fur. Sammy has thick fur, but I actually think little Eva's fur is thicker than Sammy's. And I don't get to pet Goldie or Ziggy enough, so I got to work on them too, but very good progress. It's 11:30 p.m. and I just finished charging this new toy for the cat. So it's the same toy that we have upstairs. It just has a different fabric design. And I bought one for the downstairs. So I figured the kittens really enjoy this when they're upstairs, so maybe they'll enjoy it down here also. They're all gathering around to check it out. Right now it's on the mode where the wand goes around and then also the butterfly. And this should keep them entertained for a while because it is motion activated. I'm going to turn the TV off. They've been watching mice videos. And this will give them something to do, something to play with. I should also mention that today when I was feeding the cats, Ringo, he didn't exactly rub up against my legs, but his tail did, and that's big for him. He's been doing this thing where he'll come up and he'll like smell my toes when I'm putting the food together, and I'm like, well, that's really good. He's coming right up to me. And then today he walked right past me and he brushed my leg with his tail, so I think that's good progress. Once I go upstairs, the rest will probably come out to play with this. But Nancy's enjoying herself. And I didn't think I was going to like the fabric or the pattern on this one, but it's actually pretty cool. I thought it was going to be like too bright and ugly, but it's really nice. It's much more colorful than the one upstairs. I like the one upstairs also. Whoever designed this toy did a really good job. Look at Goldie, she's splooting on the turbo scratcher. I actually found one of the balls today, and this orange tower of tracks is missing all of its balls also. So there's 3 balls because there's 3 tracks. They're all gone. I have no idea where they are. And one of the things that I did tonight was take a stick and go under this couch that I am sitting on, and I got a lot of toys out from under it, and I took a flashlight and I looked underneath it, and there are none of the missing balls under there, so it's a mystery where they go. Are they going to turn it back on? That should have turned it back on. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm going to go to bed and let them enjoy themselves. There's Nancy. She's watching from like a foot away. It's about 10:15 a.m. right now, and I just had some treat training with the cats, and I have this package of Blue Buffalo Bursts, and big progress today. So little Eva actually smelled one of the treats in my hand today. Usually when I give her a treat by hand, she just automatically hisses and backs away. But she didn't do it today. She actually smelled it, and she almost ate it out of my hand. Like I could tell she wanted to, but she was still hesitant. And at one point, she even raised a paw, like she was going to put her paw on my hand, but then she thought better of it, and she didn't do it. But big progress, so I have to make sure that I do a lot more treat training with the cats. And they've all had a few of the treats. They eat it out of my hand. The only cats that have not been eating it out of my hand are Ringo and little Eva. Ringo wants to, but sometimes he's afraid of it. Sometimes he does, but it's like hit and miss with him. It is 10:20 a.m. and I just had a major breakthrough with Ziggy. She let me brush her with the shower brush for a long time, and she was purring the whole time.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
Any more brushing? So she loved it. She's still going to be skittish, but she loved it on like her cheeks, the top of her head, and the back of her neck. She loved it. She was purring. Ziggy, come here. Your name is not Ziggy. Your name is Sammy. Ziggy. Okay, so we just had brushing time. Now it's time for treats. They're all gathering around. Okay, who wants one? Want one? Here you go. Dropped it, Nancy. There you go, Ziggy. Goldie. Richard, you already had one. There's two. Goldie. Okay, who we need? Oh, Sammy's next to me. Here you go, Sammy. Now it's just Ringo and little Eva. Here, Ringo. Here, Ringo. Eat that, Ringo. Eat it fast. Eat it. Okay. Who's next? Where's little Eva? Eva! Here, Eva. Okay, so everyone got one. Let's see if they want a second one. Want another one? Who wants one? Richard. Ziggy. Goldie. Okay. Nancy. Come here, Nancy. Nancy. Ringo, you want one? Here. Yep. Eat that, Ringo. Nope, you dropped it, Ringo. Here, eat it. Okay, there you go. Sammy, want another one? I just gave the cats a new box to play with. There's Sammy. I knew she'd be the first one in it because she loves boxes. That's Richard near her. She probably needs some windows cut in the side of it. There's Ziggy. Ziggy's like, what are you doing? It's almost midnight. And here's Simba. He's laying on the bed. I'm testing out a new camera. So I'm just curious to see how it shoots in a lower light situation. Whoa! Boo just jumped on the bed. Normally the cats would be sitting by an open window, but we have a bad air quality day, and I'm not going to open the windows tonight. So hopefully tomorrow will be better, and then we can open the windows. It's 8:54 a.m. and I wanted to film Boo looking out of the window because he was looking so handsome. But as soon as I turn the camera on, he decides he needs to jump on the bed and now lay on the bed. What's the matter, Boo? You want some pets? Want some pets? I'm testing out this new camera, trying to get used to it. But some of the controls are in different locations, so instead of hitting record, I keep hitting menu instead. How you doing, buddy, Boo? How you doing, Boo? Here's Stella. I have 2 of the electronic toys on for her, and she's been kind of jumping between them. This one that she's laying on now is motion sensitive, so if she touches it hard enough or firmly enough, then it will turn itself back on. Hey, Boo. Here's the other one. This one works better when it's on a floor, so I put this one here on the floor. And they love this one, like in the middle of the rug. Pretty much all of the cats in the house like this one. Here's Splash. He's hanging out by the window in Boo's room. And I've just learned that this camera does not have the best zoom on it. The zoom on the other camera that I've been using has a better zoom, but if the focus on this one is better, and if the sound on this one is better, then I'm going to be much happier using this one, even if it means I have to get a little bit closer to my subject. So right now I'm totally zoomed in on Splash, and I'm probably, I don't know, maybe 6 feet away from him. And here's Simba. Simba was in a cat tower near an open window all morning. So a lot of cameras are trained to focus on faces, but they're not trained to focus on animal faces. So when I watch this footage back, it's going to be interesting to see what it's focusing on. Like, is it going to focus on the cat, Or is he going to focus on something else? Yesterday, I went to a local poultry farm thinking I was going to buy ingredients for making homemade raw food. What I ended up buying was pre-made raw pet food. They sell this for dogs, but I was talking to them and they say that they feed it to cats also, and this is what my vet had told me about. And they have different varieties there, so I bought 2 different varieties, and this is their turkey variety, so this is turkey meat with bone. All I have to add is organs to it and supplements, and I have complete cat food. And it's fresh from a local farm, so that's good. So I'm very hopeful that the cats will like it because the price on it is really, really good. A 10-pound box was about $26, so it's less than $3 a pound, which is great. That price is an excellent deal for healthy raw cat food. So that would be able to save me some time making homemade raw food. I would still make my own homemade raw food, but I would be able to kind of rotate it in with some store-bought food, or maybe go back to doing what I was doing previously, which was feeding homemade like for breakfast and then store-bought for dinner. So today's the first day that we are trying this food. So I defrosted enough for all 11 cats, and I'm going to mix this up with some organ meat and their supplements, and we'll see if they like it for breakfast. Here's the food after I mixed in the organ meats and the supplements, and what I've realized is that this meat is like really, really finely ground. I'm so used to putting some decent chunks of meat in the homemade raw food that I make. So I'm realizing that this is not something that I would be feeding to the cats every meal. I would definitely want to continue making them some form of homemade food that has bigger chunks of meat in it to, really give them something to chew on for their mouth health and for their teeth health. And I don't think that I can just add chunks of meat to this, because then it will throw off the bone ratio, because this already has bones in it. So to me, this food would only be something that I fed the cats like once a day, probably. And here's their portion. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of the freeze-dried chicken on top because they love that. And then this is their breakfast. Let's hope they eat it. All right, so it looks like everyone is at least trying their food. The room's a bit of a mess right now. We have a bunch of boxes from Amazon and Chewy. The kittens were playing with them yesterday, and they had such a good time that I left them here so they could play with them today. So when I mixed some water into the food and the organ meats, it ends up that the cats are each getting about 2.8 ounces for this meal, which is 5 of the patties. So I weighed the patties today before I put them in the bowl and combined them. And each patty weighs approximately 5 ounces, some a tiny bit less, some a tiny bit more. They're not all exactly 5 ounces. But that would mean a good estimate as far as serving size goes would be 1 patty per day per cat. That's around 2.5 ounces of a patty per meal. Then when you mix a little bit of water in, add the organ meats, it's almost 3 ounces. Organ meats should be approximately 10% of the ingredients. So if I was only feeding 1 cat half of a patty, I would put such a small amount of organ meats in there. Or I would have to give them like 1 meal of organ meats like once a week so they get like all their organ meats at one time. All right, looks like everyone's eating well. I'm downstairs with the kittens, so let's see how the autofocus on this does. They're getting their morning brush. They're getting their morning brushing. Come here, Richard. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Nancy. Did you guys have a good night? There's Goldie. Hey, Goldie. Goldie does not let me brush her yet. Here's Sammy. Hello, Sammy. Hey, Goldie. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Richie. After they get brushed, they like lots of pets. Hey, Ringo. There's Ziggy. Hey, Ziggy. Let me get the brush. Maybe Ziggy will let me brush her. Good. Brush your head. Richard's a motorboat. Look at Ziggy. Ziggy's letting me brush her head. I don't know if the camera's catching this. It doesn't have a flip-up screen, so. Okay. Okay, ready? It's okay, you could chew on it. Hey, Sammy. Sammy, get out the way. You want to be brushed? Okay. Ziggy likes it when I brush her cheeks and her neck. This is her second day of letting me brush her. I don't know if you can't really see her face where I have the camera, but she's definitely enjoying this. Let's see if I could do this. Hey, Richard. She's purring very lightly. I think she's starting to learn to like the brush. She lets me brush her when she's under this chair. This is exactly where I brushed her yesterday. Smell in my hand? Can I pet you? Look at this, look. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God, guys, this is incredible. This is a first. This is huge. She never lets me do this, ever. She's never let me pet her head like this, ever. So I've been able to pet her in the past, like on her back. I've never been able to pet her head. Look, guys, this is a first. Ziggy. Ziggy, tell everyone it's okay, okay? Tell everyone it's okay. You're so soft. The magic of a shower brush. She's still purring. Okay, good. You gonna hold my hand? You gonna hold my hand? You're such a nice girl, Ziggy. You're such a nice girl, Ziggy. You give pets? You want the head? She's getting a good head scratch right now. Okay, Ziggy? Good neck scratch. I'm going to tell you what's probably going to happen. So she's getting good pets right now, but she's probably going to continue to be afraid of me for a while. But if I can make progress like this every day, where she gets a little bit of brush and she gets a little pets, then hopefully eventually she won't be scared of me anymore. You did so good, Ziggy. Ziggy, you did so good. Are you hungry? Would you like breakfast? You hungry, Ziggy? Want breakfast? Ringo, you gonna let me brush you now? Here, let's brush Ringo. Here you go. Ringo watched the whole thing with Ziggy. Here you go. Come on. Nope. Now it's time for treats. We have these bursts today. Okay, ready, guys? Here we go. Okay, who wants one? Richard, you can't eat them all. Okay, Goldie had one. Here you go. Eva, you want one? Oh, here's Sammy. Here's Sammy. Eat it, don't just lick it. Okay, good. Come on, Ziggy. Here, Ziggy. Here's Ziggy. Okay. Who wants this one? Nancy, did you get one? Okay. Goldie, you want another one? What is Sammy? Sammy wants it. Come on, Eva. Eva, come here. Eva. Eva. Here. So Eva's still afraid of treats. Eva will eat canned food out of a spoon out of my hand, but she won't eat these treats. Okay, Ziggy, I'll give you another one. Who's eating this? Okay, Ringo's gonna take it. Ringo, take it. Take it, Ringo. Amy says she wants it. Okay, who wants another one? Here, Ringo. Sammy, these are for Ringo. Here, here's Ziggy. Let me give some to Ziggy. Here. 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 Ziggy. Here. Ziggy's getting extras because she let me pet her. Here we go. How are you, Ringo? You doing good? Alright, so it looks like we have 6 out of 7 trying the food. Eva just needs to go eat. Nancy's moving away from it. So 5 out of 7 isn't bad. Well, now Sammy's walking away from it. Maybe they don't like turkey. Maybe they just want to eat after everyone else eats. Sometimes they're weird like that, so I'll come back and we'll check on the plates. It's almost 3 p.m. and I wanted to show you Ziggy because Ziggy was laying up here. First, Nancy was here and Ziggy was next to her. And I saw Ziggy, like she had her back end like all out here and like her legs were out. So I was like, let me see if I could pet her. So I started petting her a little bit and she loved it. First she got a little spooked, but Nancy was right there and she didn't go anywhere. And then I started petting her back. Here she comes. Hey, Ziggy. So then I started giving her more pets and she moved over here. She's getting a lot of pets, like a lot of pets. Like she really likes pets. Hey, Sammy. And I didn't want to like run and get the camera or anything, but she loves like getting like the top of her head petted and the sides of her neck, the back of her neck. Like she loved it. She was just like eating it up. Hey, Richard, I could give you pets too. Okay, Nancy, I could give you pets too. Okay, you want pets, Sammy? So the kittens were not too happy with their breakfast today. I would say there's about a third of it still left on the plates downstairs. And they might start pestering me for food earlier today, which is fine. I have their dinner defrosting. We don't scratch on furniture. It's 11 p.m. and it's Nipsey night. All the cats have a Nipsey mat. They all choose a mat. That's how smart they are. They don't want to share with anybody. They want their own. Oh, Nancy, that was nasty. Nancy just stole Ziggy's. Nancy's going crazy, so is Ringo. Ziggy, I'll give you another one, okay? Where'd I put the catnip? Look at. Come on, Boo. This is for Simba. Let Simba have it. That's his. He don't feel good.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's 10 a.m. and the cats are eating their breakfast. They're having some of the new raw food that I got from the poultry farm. And this variety is chicken, turkey, and organ meats. So the only thing I had to mix in was some supplements. I also added a hard-boiled egg and fish oil and probiotics. So it seems that they like this one also. We got a late start today because we had thunderstorms roll in last night. And thunderstorms always wake me up. I also got to bed later than I wanted to. So the biggest issue that I have with this food is that it is so finely ground. I mean, this is what it looks like after I mix in like supplements and the fish oil and probiotics. I don't know if you could see, but it's just really, it's a really smooth consistency. And the food that I've been making for the cats has been chunkier. And the chunkier food is good for their mouth and for their teeth. So, you know, this is not something that I would be able to serve to them for every meal. So where it is now, because I did buy 2 boxes of it, 20 pounds of it, they're going to get it like every other meal. So right now they've been getting it for breakfast, and then yesterday I gave them homemade food for dinner. So that might be the route that I go until I use up the boxes. And then once I use up these 2 boxes, I'll decide whether I want to order more of this, because it is really good quality. It's really good quality. The only issue that I have with it is that it doesn't have like enough chunks in it for the cats to really like sink their teeth into it. Here's Ziggy underneath the chair where I've been brushing her the past 2 days. Hey, Sammy. And today I have this brush. This is the grooming brush. I just brushed Sammy, Nancy, and Richard. So let's see if Ziggy will let me brush her with this. Ziggy, can I brush you? This will help get a lot of the loose hair off of Ziggy, because when I've been petting her, you know, there's been a lot of shedding. There you go. You want to attack it? This is metal. Hey, Sammy. Okay, I know it's not going to be as comfortable near your head, but we got to get all that loose hair off of you, okay? So one thing that I've noticed with these cats is they don't seem to groom as much as the other cats do, which is a good thing, because if I can't brush them or like, hey, Richard, or pet them, if they were grooming themselves a lot, then there'd be a lot of hairballs, and I don't want to jinx anything, but so far there haven't been any hairballs. It's like this group of kittens has a completely different, so It's almost like they have a completely different cat culture than the other cats do. Like, they have a completely different language than the other cats do. Their vocabulary is much greater than the vocabulary of the other cats as far as, like, cat speak. And obviously they sploot. The other cats don't sploot. And they don't groom themselves as much as the other cats groom themselves. Okay, you want me to give you your tummy? Do your tummy? So this is the third day in a row that Ziggy is letting me brush her. Now, I have to brush her under the chair, but maybe eventually she'll let me brush her outside from under the chair. Don't eat that. Yeah, want this one? Okay, this is the one you like. But we did good, Ziggy. You let me brush you with the groomer. So right now, it is the middle of July. And Ziggy first came inside at the end of October. She was the last cat to come inside. She was the last one that I was able to trap. So, wow, so it's been 9 months? It's been 9 months, Ziggy. It took 9 months to be able to brush Ziggy. And to be able to pet her like I was able to pet her yesterday. Okay, I'm going to move that out. Move that one out. Can I pet you? Want some pets? Oop. You don't want no pets? No pets. Maybe she's a little overstimulated by both brushes. Okay, you don't want the brush? You want the brush or no? No? And chew it? Pretty girl. Pretty girl. Oh, you dropped it, Sammy. Here, one of them. Ziggy. Hey, Ziggy. Ziggy. Not Nancy. Ziggy. Ziggy. There you go. Goldie. Here. Goldie. 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 And Sammy wants one. Here, Goldie. Here. Here. I don't know what's the matter with Goldie today. Ringo. Ringo, you want one? Where's Eva? Where's little Eva? Eat that. I just portioned out the cat food for the kittens and realized what this food reminds me of. So the consistency of this food is almost identical to refried beans. If you've ever had refried beans, that is like the texture of this food. So 6 of the 7 cats are eating their food. I don't know why Goldie's not eating. Yesterday with the turkey patties, they only finished probably about 2/3 of the food that was on the platter. And then I ended up throwing out what was left. It sat there all day. Nobody went back to finish it. So they weren't the biggest fans of the turkey. It looks like they like this variety better. And I'll see what they do. If they leave any on the plates, I'll just sprinkle a little bit of Fortiflora on it, and then hopefully someone will go back and finish it. I don't know what's going on with Goldie. Maybe she doesn't feel good today. She didn't want to eat a treat. And usually she loves treats. So I'm just going to keep her under observation, see what's going on with her. Goldie's usually very food motivated, so it's kind of odd that she's not eating. But she is sitting close to everybody, so that's a good sign. Because usually if a cat really doesn't feel good, it'll be like off hiding somewhere. Maybe she just has an upset stomach. After everyone's done, I'll see if I could give her like a churro and see if she eats that, because her favorite food is like baby food or like squeeze-ups. Alright, so I'll be back. So this is what's left of that food. They hardly ate any of it. Maybe they ate 1/4 of it, not even. So I just sprinkled some Fortiflora on it. And now Ziggy's eating some and little Eva's eating some. I don't know if Goldie's going to eat any. Ringo might go eat some. I opened the door to upstairs, so Richard and Nancy are upstairs right now. Sammy is by a window. Goldie's still over there. I'll wait until they're done, then I'll see if Goldie wants a squeeze up or a churro or something. It's 12:15 p.m. and here's Ziggy. She's hanging out by the back door. This is one of her favorite places. She must see a bug. Let me show you what else is going on right now. Here's Richard. He's hanging out by the gate to Boo's room. And there's Splash. Do you see Splash? And Splash is not just sitting there. Look at his arm. He has his arm outstretched toward Richard. To me, that's a good sign. First of all, I think it's a good sign that Splash has just been sitting here with Richard. Maybe they're getting to know each other a little bit. And the fact that he has his arm stretched out like that, I think that's really good. So today, Splash and Stella are in Boo's room. Stella's underneath the day sofa. And Boo and Simba are in my room. And this is what they chose. I don't tell them what rooms to go in. I go downstairs, get the cats fed, clean up from breakfast, and then I say, okay, where are the cats at? And sure enough, today, this is where they're at. So you could see that Simba's very comfortable here. There are some bird videos on the TV. The window's open, there's a nice breeze. Boo is in the cat tower, relaxing. So right now all the cats are happy. Here's Richard. He's still watching Splash, just from a little farther distance. Maybe if I start doing something, he'll go back to the door. Hey, Splashy. How are you? You're looking handsome today, Splash. So I just gave the cat some treats, and Stella came out, and Splash came near the gate. And here's Nancy and Sammy. They're afraid of that one. You want that one? And here's Richard. Here you go. Hey, Splash. Here you go. Who wants these? So there's Richard eating a treat near the gate. Who's gonna get that one? Stella's hissing because she's mad. She's mad it's on this side of the gate. She's growling. Here, Stella! Stella! There's some treats on their side. Eat it, Richard. Here, eat that. Splash is watching. Stella's watching. There goes Splash. It's very brave of him. He's looking at Richard. Growling. Eat your treat, Splashy. He's looking at Sammy and Nancy. Eat your treat, Splashy. There's a nice breeze here because the window in Boo's room is open and the window in the living room is open. So there's some nice cross ventilation happening. Look at these two. Hey, Splash. So this is what I'm doing. I'm leaving some treats on this side of the gate and on the other side of the gate. So whoever wants them can be brave and come get them. There's Nancy. Is she going to eat all of them? Is she going to stick her paw through the gate to get the other one? She's thinking about it. Here goes Richard. Splash is watching. And there we go. There's the brave one. Nancy ate all 4 of the treats. She's going to try to eat the others. I fully expect her to put her paw through the gate to try to get to the other ones. There we go. Is she going to get it? The gate is really close to the floor. I didn't leave any gaps underneath it. Splash is watching her. Where's Richard? He's purring so loud. Nancy definitely acts like the mom of the bunch, like she's the provider for the cats. She's the one that always meows and howls for food, and then once they get it, she's quiet. She meows and howls for toys. Once I put them on, then she's quiet. And Ringo acts like the dad of the bunch, if that makes any sense. He's always more kind of on the outskirts of the group, just like watching and making sure everything is okay. Ziggy's watching Splash from over here. She's looking at Splash. Maybe it's Ziggy and Splash will get along good. Good job, Nancy. Just be nice, okay? Be nice to the cats. Richard wants 1,000,000 pets today.
Look at Splash. Hey, Splash.
It's 2:30 p.m. and I just made Simba some churro soup. So this is a purple churro with 1 or 2 tablespoons of water mixed in. The reason why I'm giving it to him is because he threw up today. First he vomited his breakfast on the floor, and then after I cleaned that up, I went outside, I did some yard work for a while, I came back inside, and then he vomited liquid on the bed, which is why the first 2 layers of bedding are in the wash right now. Look at, come on, Boo, this is for Simba. Let Simba have it. That's his, he don't feel good. He has an upset stomach, not you. So when I came back inside, Simba had vomited some liquid on the bed. There is a water bowl in this room, and at one point I did see him drinking some liquid after he threw up, which is good because I want him to drink some liquid, which is why I just made him some churro soup. I'm here with a new toy for the cats. This is Whack-A-Mole Smart Cat Toy. I bought this on Amazon for them. I got it on Prime Day, so it was on sale. The reason why I bought it is because they have been absolutely loving this electronic cat toy so much that I have 2 of these. I have 1 upstairs and 1 downstairs, and all the cats in the house really enjoy it. I also have 2 of these Smarty Cat electronic cat toys. Again, 1 upstairs, 1 downstairs because the cats enjoy this so much. This is another cat toy that I have 2 of, 1 upstairs, 1 downstairs. The cats really enjoy this one. And so I thought, why not get another one and see how much they like that. So this is what comes in the box. We have the cat toy. We also have the USB charging cable, and this is a game changer. All of these electronic toys should be USB rechargeable. It's just 1,000,000 times better than having to constantly refill them with batteries. And then this also has some replacement tips, which is good because the cats will sometimes pull the toy out or just, demolish it. And then at least now I have some replacement tips. So let's open this up. So this is what the toy looks like, and I believe there's already a little bit of a charge on it. So there's a switch on the bottom. Let's turn it on. So what's nice about this one is that it has holes along the top, but then it also has holes like on the side. So it's like on the bottom and then on the top. So it holds their interest a little bit more. And it seems to be a bit random in how it pokes out. It's also fairly quiet, which is nice too. It's 11:45 a.m. Look at what's going on here. Nancy and Ziggy are sharing a cat tower. I think they're watching butterflies or moths outside. And there's Richard. Look at this, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It is 8:51 a.m. and Simba's having a snack before breakfast because he was making hacking noises, like when a cat has a hairball, which is kind of odd because the cats usually don't make hacking noises. So in case he does have a hairball, I gave him half of a salmon Sheba and I mixed in some salmon oil. The challenge is to keep Boo and Stella away from it. And the reason why I gave it to him is because it can help move the hairball. If you look at hairball remedies that are sold in stores, they're usually just like mineral oil or petroleum jelly, which is just a form of lubricant. So giving them a natural oil, like salmon oil, olive oil, coconut oil, can have the same beneficial effect as far as moving a hairball along. And I have found by giving a cat some sort of salmon-based food, it can also have the same effect. So we'll see what happens. How you feeling, Simba? You feel okay? Feel okay, Simba? It's 9:15 a.m. and the cats are playing with this electronic toy. They love this toy. Here's Stella. Here's Splash. There's Boo. And here's Simba. He's on the bed. How are you, Simba? You feeling okay? You feeling okay? Is your tummy a little weird? Tummy feel weird? It could be that he's been vomiting lately because of a hairball issue. So if we can move that hairball, you know, either out or further along, then he can feel better. It's 9:45 a.m. and this is how the cats want to play. Simba wants to lay in the turbo track. Stella wants to lay in the cat track. Boo wants to lay in the 3-in-1 toy. And Splash is just like hanging out. Look at Simba. He fits perfectly in this turbo track. And there's Stella in the cat track. There's Boo on the electronic toy.
And here's Splash. Hey, Splashy.
It is 10:55 a.m. and let me tell you what's going on here. So here is Stella and Boo. And this is what they want to do today. They want to hang out over here. Here are Simba and Splash, and they want to hang out over here. So these two put themselves in the bedroom. So I was like, okay, you want to hang out in the bedroom today? You can hang out in the bedroom today. I shut the door. They're perfectly happy here. And these two are perfectly happy here. So I said, okay, I'll open the door to downstairs and I'll let the kittens upstairs because everyone ate their breakfast and that's their usual routine. So what happened was Nancy, Richard, and Ringo went straight into Boo's room because Boo's room was open. So I saw it as an opportunity to put the gates up and keep them in Boo's room and just see what happens because these are the 3 wild cards. Nancy's a wild card, and Richard's a wild card, and Ringo's a wild card. These are the 3 cats that have attacked the other cats, so these are the ones that have to be under observation when all the cats are together. But now, since they're in Boo's room, I can actually get stuff done and not have to constantly monitor them and walk around with spray bottles. I did have to shut his window. His window was much more open than it is right now. It's only open about 2 inches. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if they hang out in here today and just, you know, relax, enjoy themselves or what. Meanwhile, Goldie, Sammy, little Eva, and Ziggy have come upstairs. But as soon as they saw Boo and Stella, then they kind of went back downstairs. It kind of freaked them out. But Boo and Stella didn't do anything. They just sat here like this, like they're just happy hanging out. So this is going to be a big experiment today. And maybe Stella and Boo want to go back downstairs and check out what's going on downstairs. They haven't been downstairs in a while. So hopefully there will not be any fights. I'm expecting some growling and hissing, but I'm hoping for everyone getting along. It's 11:30 a.m. and here's Boo. He's relaxing on the play rug in the living room. And here's Simba and Splash, and Stella decided she wanted to come join them. Right now she's under the bed because it's nice and cool under there, and she likes laying under there. So it is 12:15 p.m. and Ziggy has been crying at the gate, and she was like pawing at the gate. So I was like, Ziggy, you want to go in the room with them? So I took out the middle gate, and she jumped over the bottom gate, and now she's in the room. So now there's 4 of the kittens in the room. Maybe she smelled the treats. There's some treats on the floor. And here's Boo. So now it's Boo and Sammy, Goldie, and little Eva. So I think that's a good combination. Hopefully Boo won't do anything wrong to the cats. It's almost 1 p.m. and all 4 of the cats in this room are under the day sofa. Little Richard just stuck his head out. Can you see him? He's right here. But other than that, they're all underneath the day sofa taking a nap.
And here's Boo.
So I was just making lunch in the kitchen, and Sammy was meowing at me because she likes to get a treat in the afternoon. And I guess Richard heard her because he's been crying at the gate. Here's Boo. Boo's mad because they were in his room. Now Nancy's howling. There's Nancy. Boo's letting them know that they better not get too comfortable in his room because it's his room.
Here's Sammy. I gave her a piece of chicken. Usually she eats it, but today she wants to play with it. I don't know why.
It is mail time. The cat's got a whole bunch of mail. Let's see what the cat's got. Here's Stella. There's Simba. All right, let's check this out. This says, enjoy your gift from Charles Cook. Thank you so much, Charles. These will be put to very good use on cat supplies. And here's another package. Let's see what's in here. And this says, special shout out to Boo from Charles Cook. Hey, Boo, Charles says hello. Thank you so much, Charles. And the cat's got Petco gift cards. Here's Boo now. He just showed up. Boo says, thank you very much, Charles. We hope you're doing well, and we hope you're having a wonderful summer so far. Thank you so much for thinking of the cats. And here's a package. I wonder what's in here. Oh, wow. Look at this. This says, enjoy your gift from Charles Cook. The cat's got 2 of the Smarty Cat Hot Pursuit electronic motion cat toys. Now, the cats already have 2 of these toys, but this toy is their second favorite toy, and they play with it every single day. I have one upstairs in the living room. I have one downstairs for the kittens. And now I have two more, so I could put one in my bedroom, so when there's cats in my room and the door shut, they have a toy to play in there. And I could also put one of these in Boo's room for the same reason. So if any cats are in Boo's room with the door shut, they now have one of these toys in there also. So this is wonderful because what I've been doing is shuffling the toy around. The one that I have in the living room sometimes goes in my bedroom, sometimes it goes in Boo's room, and now that I have extras, I could put one in each room, and that way the cats will always be able to play with this no matter like who's where. And what's nice about it is that it's not like terribly big, so it does fit in smaller spaces. And the batteries last for quite a while, and the cats absolutely love this toy, so thank you so much, Charles. And now we have some big and very heavy boxes here. There's Stella, she's checking it out. Hey Stella, you gonna help me open it? Let's open this. Let's see what they got. Oh wow, check this out. So this is an electronic cat toy. It's a smart cat toy. It looks like it is rechargeable. I love that. And it looks like one of these robot toys that kind of like run around the house. And it also has like a wand toy on it. So the cats have never had anything like that. So it'll be really interesting to see how they like it. I hope they really like it. And we got an 18-pound bag of cat litter. This is the litter that the cats use. And this says, enjoy your gift from Charles Cook. Charles, you are absolutely spoiling the cats. And this is wonderful because I use a lot of cat litter every month. I've gone through my cat budget to figure out like how much money is spent on what. And besides making homemade raw food, which is the biggest expense, the second biggest expense is cat litter. So this is a great help along with the PetSmart and Petco gift cards because we go through a lot of cat litter. So thank you so much. And here's another big box with two more 18-pound bags of Dr. Elsie's Ultra Cat Litter. This is the cat's favorite cat litter. And I'm not going to take these bags out of the box because one of them is leaking and I could hear the cat litter falling out of the bag. So I will inspect those bags and then I'm going to tape them up. I found that if there's a bag with a small hole in it, I could just put some packing tape on it, some packing tape over the hole, and then that'll be good to seal the hole. So thank you so much. And the note inside said that this was from Charles Cook also. Thank you, Charles. And there's Simba. And here's another box of cat litter. There are two 18-pound bags in this box. So thank you so much, Charles, for all of this cat litter. And there might have been another bag or two that arrived, but one of the boxes at the post office was open, and I remember taking two bags out of the post office, like not in a box. So if you're thinking that there should have been one or two other bags, then there probably were because like I said, the people at the post office told me one of the boxes was open and then I just took out the bags by themselves. So thank you so much, Charles, for your generosity and for helping out with the costs of cat supplies this month. It is greatly appreciated. It is about 9:30 a.m. and I'm downstairs with the kittens. They're getting brushed, and then they're going to have their breakfast. Maybe they'll have some playtime also. And I don't know if I recorded anything yesterday or the day before, but Ziggy has been making really big progress. She's been letting me brush her and pet her, and not underneath the chair. So she's been letting me brush and pet her right here on this turbo scratcher. She still gets a little bit self-conscious, and right now the camera is, freaking her out a little bit, but
as you can see, she's letting me brush her. She's not under the chair. And she really enjoys being brushed. So we're making really good progress with Ziggy. And she's definitely one of the smaller cats, if not the smallest cat. Like, she's really tiny. She's a tiny girl. But I'm happy I could brush her, and the more cats I can brush, that means the cleaner I could keep everything. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look, she was letting me brush her tummy. Good job, Ziggy. Good job. Oh, you want pets? I'm going to pet you. She loves head rubs. And she likes it when I pet the back of her neck and the sides of her face. I don't know if you could hear it, but she's purring. Yeah, I can't zoom out. I'm super close to her, though. Good job, Ziggy. Good job, Ziggy. So Ziggy has like a lightning flash on her face, yeah. Just the dark, it's like a lightning flash, like a reverse lightning flash. What are you doing, Ziggy? And the reason why she has it is because she's super fast. She's the fastest of all the cats. She's the most active, and she's the fastest. And that's why she has like a lightning bolt on her face. Even though it's like a reverse, because it's not light. It's a dark, dark lightning bolt. Good job, Ziggy. Good job, Ziggy. Good job. Good job. Pet your tummy. Rub your tummy. You have to be careful when you rub a cat's tummy because sometimes they could get overly excited. And they can attack your hand. Scritchy scratches. Scritchy scratches. Want scritchy scratches? Want tummy rubs? You want tummy rubs? You want tummy rubs? I keep thinking she's trying to... I keep thinking she's moving to attack my hand, but she's not. She just wants head pets. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Tummy. She's reminding me of Boo because when I pet Boo's tummy, what he does is he takes his paws and he does this, like he moves me toward his head because he wants his head scratched. Wow, Ziggy, that's big progress for you today. That's very big progress. What a nice girl you are, Ziggy. Ziggy, you're such a nice girl. Okay, now I gotta brush everybody else. I gotta give everybody else pets and brushes, okay? Okay? Good? Good?
Look at Ringo on the cat tower. He likes to watch. That's what Boo used to do when Stella and the kittens were outside. So I'd play with Stella and the kittens, and then Boo would be sitting like 6 to 10 feet away, and he'd just be watching. That's why I sometimes think Ringo is the dad of the group, because of the way he does this. He just kind of like watches as like a protector. Also because he's the largest one, and he's always been the largest one, so I always felt like he was a little bit older. It is 8 p.m. and I thought I would show you what's going on down here. So this is a large box that arrived today. It was a delivery. I ordered something online and they shipped it in this giant box, and there was a ton of like packing paper inside. And when I unboxed everything, I was like, this would make a really nice tunnel for the cats to play with. Except what happened was when I took everything out of the box, then like it collapses on itself. So right now it would not be able to hold up these cats that are on top of it. So I put it down here and I was like, well, what do I have that I could put inside of it to hold it up? And I had 2 cases of Shiba Perfect Portions that were the perfect size to put in this box. So there's actually like one here and one there. And it's doing a good job of holding up the top of the box. I mean, look, there's 4 cats on top of it. So that's at least 40 pounds of cats. And they've already ripped a hole in the box. So they're definitely having a good time with it. I don't know if you could see, but that end of the box is starting to sink down a little bit because the box is over here in the middle, like the case of Shiba's right here. So there's nothing holding up the end. But that's fine. I thought they would have fun like crawling around inside the box using it as a tunnel. I didn't realize that they would be tearing it apart. And they ripped this hole in the top of it, and that they could actually stick their paws in that hole. But that's definitely how they like to play. Like, someone's inside. I think Sammy's in the box. Yeah, Sammy's in the box, and someone's on top of the box. And they'll probably poke each other through the hole. See? I'm waiting for a paw to come out of that hole. Oh no, now Sammy's at the other end. See? Look. Alright, so they're going to have a lot of fun with this box tonight, but I have to give them dinner right now, so. Okay, guys, we're going to eat dinner. Ready for dinner? Are you guys ready for dinner? Let's have dinner. Come on. We're having turkey. I just moved the coffee table over a little bit to make some room on this end of the box, so they'll have a good time. It is 9:50 p.m. This is Richard on top of the box. And who is that over there? Is that Ringo going into the box? Yeah, that's Ringo. Ringo's in the box. Richard's on top of the box. Hey, look. Oh, there's an ant on the box. Kill that ant, Richard. Go get that ant. Kill it. There's little Eva. There's Goldie. Here's Ziggy, and Ziggy got so many pets tonight. She just got pets and pets and pets. So she really, really enjoys getting pets, right, Ziggy? She says yes.
She's a very sweet girl, right, Ziggy? Here's Sammy and Nancy and Goldie, and little Eva, Richard and Ringo. So I'm going to put their toy on for them, and then it's lights out. We're trying to have lights out around 10 p.m., not just down here, but upstairs also, so I can get to sleep at a decent hour. Then usually I'll be able to get to sleep by like 11, and I'm trying to get up early again because, I don't know, for like the past month and a half, I've been getting up probably around 8:30 in the morning, and that's just too late. I need to get up earlier than that, so that's why we're doing lights out, and we're trying to get up earlier. This morning I was up around 7, so that was good. Okay, good night, Ziggy. Good night, Ziggy. Good night, Ziggy. Good night, Ziggy. Good night. Good night, Sammy. Good night, Sammy. Good night, Nancy. Good night, Goldie. Good night, Richard. Good night, Ringo. Good night, little Eva. I don't know where you are.